welcome back to the Comic Lounge, and welcome to the second part, and hopefully this is the last part of showing you my Spider-Man collection, and I'm going all out. I have a lot here, so let's just get straight into it. These are ones, though, I'm going to start off with some of these. These are ones that I forgot to show in the first part, but I'll show it now, and I'll get through them as quick as possible. So, this is Nova number 12, which is the first meeting between Nova and Spider-Man, and it's also the first appearance for the villain Photon, who was very short-lived. I won't give away any spoilers, but this book does end up continuing into Amazing Spider-Man 171. So, again, this part being written by Marv Wolfman, with drawn by Sal Buscema, this part being Len Wein and Ross Andru. This one is actually a very, very recent introduction, and this will be the first time I'll be showing it, but you might see this one a little more later, later this month when I do an actual haul video. But Marvel Team Up number 91 wanted this mostly because of it is Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, and this will be the last time for a while, a long time eventually, once we get the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, you know, that Spider-Man would team up with the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. But again, this is from the really early, very early 80s. So again, story written by Stephen Grant with art from Pat Broderick, with the cover art from Rich Buckler and Al Milgrom. I should have looked it up, but I might end up showing you the cover that this book is tied with, and I wish I had it, but I am looking for it. But this is pretty much tied with a Spectacular Spider-Man issue, but Fantastic Four 218, which is pretty much Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four taking on, well, the Frightful Four. And this is also some, I think, early John Byrne on Fantastic Four, just before, way before he would take over the Fantastic Four series. And so this is during the time when he was on Uncanny X-Men. So this is a pretty cool one to begin with, and I think it goes under the radar for a lot of John Byrne fans. So there you have it. Spider-Woman number 29, I think this is a second part. Because I think number 28 is also with Spider-Man, but this is number 29. So again, showing you Spider-Man and the Enforcer as the villain. And then these last two, since they're all basically two-part issues, but Captain America 265 with Spider-Man and Nick Fury. And, of course, there's 266 continuing the whole storyline. But again, this is with Mike Zeck as the artist, so really great that he's drawing Spider-Man in these two issues, just way before his doing the whole Kraven's Last Hunt and, of course, Secret Wars. Alright, so let's finally get into a lot of the meat of the whole matter, since those were like bonus ones that I just didn't get to show the last video, so we're going to zip through this as much as I can. So starting with pretty much the tail end of the 80s, but Web of Spider-Man number 55. This is when Jerry Conway pretty much returned to Marvel and was, writing the character that he pretty much was really made his name as a writer to begin with in the early 70s, especially with the death of Gwen Stacy and so on. But this is just still cool late 80s Jerry Conway period on Spider-Man. But this is Web of Spider-Man number 55. And here we go. Since I was wearing the t-shirt in the last video, I'll show, well, the comic where that t-shirt originally came from. Yeah, I do. And this is the gold edition. So this is like the gold collector's edition. I had this way before the channel. I was a kid when I pretty much had this comic. So there you have it. And it's the first part in Torment. And it's what kicks off pretty much the last remaining run for Todd McFarlane. Not just on Spider-Man, for Marvel Comics in general. And here we have is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and that was the last part to the Torment storyline, which by the way, as much as I love Todd McFarlane's stuff on Spawn, his early writing on because that was the first time he was ever writing, is a little bit rough. But personally, he really started getting a little better with this issue though. Number 6 with the Hobgoblin. And this would also, again, since I showed the last time that Spider-Man would team up with the Ghost Rider, which would have been with Johnny Blaze, this begins the first time he would meet Danny Ketch, who was the brand new Ghost Rider of this time. So again, 1990, or it could have been 91. No, it's still, I think, still basically beginning of 1991. They have it there, first part in that one. And then here we go on the cover, which Todd McFarlane actually stated this is his favorite, or at least most underrated cover that he's ever done. So that's a really cool one to kind of bring up. But yeah, the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider and, Spider-Man. And then here we go. Number 8. This is the storyline that kicks off with him and Wolverine, which obviously was another excuse for Todd McFarlane to write more Wolverine after the Incredible Hulk 340. Number 9. Number 10 with him and the Wendigo, since the Wendigo supposedly is the main villain, but there's a twist at the end. I won't reveal that twist to begin with. And then number 11. So, another cool one. And finally, here's the last part in that storyline. So, number 12. Sadly, I don't have number 13 and 14. I believe I do. They're just somewhere. I just don't know where, but I don't have a time to look through everything. But again, there's always a future Spider-Man collection video. There's always. So let's just straight up get into number 15 when Eric Larson begins to sort of take over. So this begins the whole mutant, the Mutant Factor storyline. And then here we go with the last Todd McFarlane Marvel comic ever. So Spider-Man number 16, which is this type of cover where it's this way. I don't have to elaborate why he left after this book. It's already been said before. There's a cool documentary. Was it Matt? As an M-A-T-T-T, whatever. I think that's the name of the guy. He did a documentary or so on Todd McFarlane, and he goes into depth on Todd McFarlane and the whole controversy around why he left this issue to begin with. So there you have it, or at least the issues. That's it, though. Number 16, final Todd McFarlane comic at Marvel Comics. And then here we have the last Eric Larson issue on Amazing Spider-Man, since I don't have any of the other Eric Larson period run or whatever on ASM. But there's it's 350 with Doctor Doom. And then on the flip side is, the next issue after that Spider-Man comic. So number 17, this was pretty much the fill-in with Ann Nocenti and Rick Lenardi, which is sort of gets tied into Infinity Gauntlet. So, really cool there. And Spider-Man's first time in a long time meeting Thanos again after Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 3, I believe. And here we go. There's number 18. Begins the the Revenge of the Sinister Six storyline. And then there's a couple of numbers missing in between. I'll eventually have to build it up. But again, number 21 with him and Deathlock. Since I showed the one with Luther Manning, this is the one with the Michael Collins Deathlock. So there you have it. And that one would have been Marvel Team Up number 46, which I showed in the first part. So hopefully you watched the first part before you had watched this part. If not, please definitely stop this video and go watch that one first real quick and then come back to this one. Okay, finally, we're now getting into most of the Mark Bagley period on Amazing Spider-Man, and obviously I have at least some others, but I don't feel like pulling those out. This is the one that's going to be the one that's going to matter. 360, first cameo of Cletus Cassidy as Carnage. And so yes, I have this one. And you probably have seen it in my intro video since I showed it there. But here we go. 361. And it is the newsstand edition. So again, I had this way before the channel. I had this since I was a kid. I thought I had another, like a reader's copy of this one, because I did have a reader's copy for the next issue. But apparently, I guess not this one, which is so crazy. But yeah, a really awesome one to begin with. And I know this has dropped down in value in a way, because it used to be a hot comic during COVID, especially when the time of Let There Be Carnage, the Venom sequel. So yeah, with Woody Harrelson playing Cletus Cassie / Carnage, since it was teased at the end of the first Venom movie. So there you go. Still, yep, I have it. And again, since I teased it, because I do have a reader's copy, and I mean, we're talking about a reader's copy, but this has been a nice upgrade. But I had this one for a long time to begin with. 362, second appearance of Carnage, and then third appearance of Carnage, 363. So these are going to be all together, though. 364 with obviously the Shocker, who we just saw only bits of his glove in the recent Brand New Day movie, which he used against the Incredible Hulk. And there you go, 365, which is, of course, has been for a long time, was said to be the first appearance of Spider-Man 2099. However, I think that's been debunked with, I think, either a Web of Spider-Man issue or Spectacular Spider-Man issue. I can't remember which one. It's a green cover with the same sort of gimmick with the holographic piece, which, again, is supposed to be a homage to, again, AF number 15, Amazing Fantasy, which I did show my reprint in the first part. And here we have his 363. And this is sort of during the storyline with his parents that I guess were supposed to be his parents, but definitely turned out, I guess, not to be. Yes, twists and turns with David Michelini. But there's, again, with the Red Skull and the Taskmaster, which I showed Marvel Team Up. What is it, like 140, 240, no, 146 or something like that I showed the previous video with him and Nomad. And then on the flip side, him and Solo. I know I also have the other part after this issue, but I don't know where it went also. But I'll still show it. It's an iconic cover as well. 374. Again, Venom holding up his, supposed to be, again, as I pointed out, his parents. And speaking of Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk, here we jump up to 381 and then 382. Which is all, this is pretty much the aftermath of that whole Maximum Carnage storyline, which eventually at some point I might show all of that. But not right now, I won't. And speaking of some crazy ones, since Todd McFarlane had left Marvel, Marvel still had one trick up their sleeve to cash in on Todd McFarlane and Spawn. They still had this in their vault. This was basically a drug PSA comic mini-series, whatever, against Skating on Thin Ice, but only the first issue did they use Todd McFarlane's cover, which had been in the vault since 1990. So there you have it. It's a bit of a cool one. And then this one came with the which is where the poster of this comic comes from, which is Spider-Man Special Edition, which is, I will say, is the book that kicks off, Lethal Protector, Venom's first ever solo series. So after this issue, it's what leads into his first solo series. So this is a cool one. This is one you had to mail order in. And again, had this for a very long time. But I think I might have had a reader's copy too. Because that, obviously, that's where that poster you see in the background is where, it comes from. It comes from this comic, and I believe this is a complete copy as well. It's got the poster intact. So, there you have it. Finally, getting into the end. This is the only flashback Spider-Man comic that I have during that whole flashback month. So, this is the only one I have, which is for Spider-Man, the aptly titled series, just Spider-Man. That I just showed the stuff for Todd McFarlane. But this is the flashback issue, which is, I think, considered the first appearance of the Proto-Goblin. So, there you have it. And again, number 84. This is towards the end of the run to begin with. And it's with when John Romita Jr. Went back to drawing Spider-Man. But number 84 with the Juggernaut. Again, Ultimate Spider-Man, number 1. And yes, it's the KB Toys variant, which, by the way, is not a complete version of the book. It's basically more of a preview book, which if I knew as a kid, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have then looked for the direct edition. So I know the original direct first print, by the way, is a little pricey these days. I mean, not super pricey, but I think it is still fairly pricey. It's not like absolute Batman number 1, levels of priciness these days. But still, I wish I did have an original direct, because this only just prints the first half of the comic. It was usually listed as a 48-page comic, but this only went up to 32 pages, so it's only the first half, and it's really sad. It is really good, and this is the obviously the comic book where Sam Raimi took quite a bit of influence as well for the first Spider-Man, and it's also influenced afterwards the more recent Spider-Man stuff. This is usually the origin they always will tend to go with, and to an extent. Not super, but close to. Still, before Absolute Batman and all the Absolute Universe, there was the Ultimate Universe, and this was the book that kicked it off. So, again, it's seen better days. But again, it's been my copy for a long time. So, I have it. So there you go. There's all of the Spider-Man comics that I'm pretty much going to show across 2 videos. Again, just like the last video, if you have any of these in your collection, or you like a lot of the comics in this that I just showed in this collection, you know what to do. You can leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. But if you're still not sure, not only will it do me great, but it'll do you great, because once you hit that subscribe button, you'll never miss out on any brand new videos. You will not. So please do that. So until then, I'll see you back on this channel. So keep on reading, keep on collecting, and just keep on enjoying the hobby, everybody. Take care.